Hey familia, Igni here. Welcome back to another episode of Ultimate Colosseum card review for the new Shadowverse expansion. I don't know what I'm saying. This intro is already meandering. I've just landed. As you can tell, the mic is back to its usual form. I'm back home. And yeah, all the cards have now been revealed. Let's take a look at the last few that we haven't looked at yet and talk about them. So in the last card review video, I was talking about the card that will tie all the Greenwood Guardian stuff together, and this is it, man. Wildwood Matriarch, 4.34 gold Forest Craft card. Fanfare of at least 3 allied Greenwood Guardians have been played this match. Gain Storm. Strike, change the cost of all Greenwood Guardians in your hand that cost at least 2 play points to 1. Evolve, put 1 in your hand. Amazing card. Amazing card. Amazing card. It's going to be really easy to play 3 Greenwood Guardians if you play all the Greenwood Guardian generators. And this just becomes like on-curve Storm that has full evolve stats, that discounts more stuff in your hand that can become overstat to 1, which can invoke a Storm. And it's so good. I was kind of unsure about the whole Greenwood Guardian thing until I saw this card, and then now I'm like, okay, I see it now. So definitely a card to look out for. Focus, Portalcraft Bronze Spell. Give your leader the following effect. At the end of your turn, if you have at least 1 play point, draw a card. If you have at least 3 play points, draw 2 instead, and restore 2 defense to your leader. At the end of your turn, remove this effect. So again, it's all about the floating play points thing with Portalcraft. Not sure how effective that's going to be, but I do see some potential for pretty interesting combos, especially since with Portalcraft you have so much play point recovery that sometimes you're left with spare play points anyway. And for this one, right, with 1 play point drawing a card, it's basically just an insight, which is totally fine. Yeah, and 3 play point, draw 2, and restore 2 defense to your leader is also a great card. Better than concentration in a lot of ways, right? So, solid card. And if you're building your deck around this whole floating play point stuff, and you can do some really interesting stuff with, like, invoke cards, such as Heaven's Gate into Kaiser, although not sure how good that'll be, but still interesting stuff, or pretty much anything else using the floating play point stuff, I think that this card is pretty solid. And even not in those decks, both at 1 and 3, this is just a good card also. Moving along, a bunch of news. Here we are. Speaking of Kaiser, 10/7/7 that evolves into a 14/14. What? Accelerate 1, select a card in your hand and banish the rest. Draw a card for each card you banished. If this is your first turn, draw 1 more, which is pretty cool. Just thin through your deck if you're looking for very specific pieces. If this is your first turn, draw 1 more. I'm not sure how I feel about that. That does feel a bit weird. I don't know. There's a hint of RNG to it, I feel like, but also it's just kind of like interesting in that it's essentially just an additional mulligan, which is neat for Portalcraft. Fanfare deals 7 damage to the enemy leader and a random enemy follower. Restore 7 defense to your leader. Gain ambush until the end of your opponent's turn. So it's 10 play points, 7/7. Deal 7 to their face. Deal 7 to their board. Restore 7. Get ambush, and then it can evolve into a 14/14. And this is what I'm talking about with that Heaven's Gate thing. You play Heaven's Gate on this, and it should work with the floating play point stuff too. So on turn 5, you can play Focus, and it would still activate and invoke the Heaven's Gate, I think. That's kind of crazy. Get this down, play this on turn 6, and then what are they gonna do? That's a little high roll. It's a little high roll, admittedly, but I'm looking forward to it. As a finisher card, it's pretty strong, let's be honest. But I think you're gonna have trouble getting to 10 play points with, Haven's on-curve storms and what have you. So I think you're gonna want to try and cheat it out somehow. But yeah, cool card. Either like an additional mulligan. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm totally okay with this first turn thing. It's like an additional mulligan. You're not drawing that many cards on your first turn anyway, so it's like an additional mulligan. Then later on, you can rethink it to play when you have more cards to draw more cards, and you know what I'm talking about, right? You can have Yeah. 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 You know what I'm saying. Later on in the game, you can have more cards, so you can draw through more cards. On the first turn, you don't have that many cards, so it feels like it's okay. Okay, moving on. Miyako, putting Poltergeist, 1/1/1. Fanfare, the next time this follower takes damage, reduce that damage to 0. Union Burst 10, put a pudding time into your hand. So 1/1/1 that takes 0 is It's alright. Can be pretty annoying. It's not amazing though, but pudding time is amazing though. Remove all effects on an enemy follower, change its attack and defense to 0/1. Give +3/+3 to an random allied Miyako pudding Poltergeist, which is horrifying. Because the implication here is that she turns the opponent into a pudding and then eats it, and I don't like it. But it is a very strong card. Can you support it with enough evolves to get it to, be effective early enough? Probably mid to late game at the earliest, or probably mid game at the earliest, and then late game at the latest. You know what I'm trying to say. Listen, I got off my flight. I'm tired. Anyway, what I'm saying is that you can't probably get pudding time too early, which is good, because that would be annoying. But I'm just wondering what Shadowcraft's like. So you just play pudding time to draw the game out a little longer, so you can get your Toth to go off more. I feel like Shadowcraft got a lot of control tools here, but I'm trying to think what the win con here is. Is it Toth? Because I don't know if all these control tools are really what you want, especially when a lot of them don't have last words for Toth. If you can think of something in rotation that Shadowcraft has like an end game win condition, let me know. Can they do something more tempo-y, mid-rangey, perhaps, with like just Resurrection or Reanimate rather, Aisha, Kawi, etc. Then just get to the point where you're have control of the board. This will definitely help you to control the board. You have evolved stuff anyway. Maybe for Zeus, could be cool. Zeus does work with the Union Burst stuff. Like I'm saying, the reason why I'm bringing this all up is, again, Union Burst is evolve based, and then all of Shadowcraft's ones so far seem to be very control-y, so I'm just trying to brainstorm the finisher in my head. But yeah, pretty solid card. Solid 1-drop with a really, really, really good Union Burst. Moving on, and it's also a leader. Kagemitsu, the Swordcraft mascot for this expansion. 1/0/1. Fanfare enhanced 3, gain +2, and rush. So it's a 2/1 with rush that has last words. If it's your turn, at the start of your turn, summon it, evolve it, then remove this effect. Strike, gain +X/+X. X equals the number of times that allied followers have evolved this match. So another card for support. For Evolve Sword, rather. To support Evolve Sword, which is weird. Don't know what that's all about. But this card reminds me a lot of Snow White. And I think this card is actually pretty okay. One thing that is funny, though, is that somebody brought up that this dies instantly to Sentry Gate, which is hilarious. So yeah, Sentry Gate is the Kagemitsu counter, although I'm not sure if it's going to be run just to counter Kagemitsu. But still, 1/0/1, you just play it on your first turn. You can run it in immediately, right? Next turn, you start getting your Evolve counters down. This will, of course, help you with your Union Bursts. And other Evolve-based win conditions as well, like Zeus, like I said. But again, I don't know if that's going to be super relevant. But yeah. And this can be a really great trading tool. It also helps get the number of allied followers destroyed count way up faster for stuff like Regal Tiger or Blazing Lion, which is neat. Or, what's her name? Tsubaki, the new Tsubaki as well, so it's support for that. I think it's a pretty solid card, and it's really easy to fit it in your curve because it's a 1-drop, right? It's a 1-drop that can come back, has the flexibility of the Enhanced to be able to also trade a little bit, although 3.2 on Rush isn't that good. But it's the last words that makes it evolve and then comes back and then gain massive stats that is the kicker here of why you would run Kagemitsu. And I feel like you could totally run this in a board-based deck where you're evolving a lot. Again, works with Union Burst, just flows into the whole sword plan of controlling the board anyway, and then can lead into an endgame as well with Zeus, although I'm not sure, again, if that's going to be relevant, because Zeus is a 10 play point card after all, but you know what I mean. Yeah, solid card. And again, I don't think Sentry Gate is going to be run to counter it, right? I feel like it just does a lot for what it costs, which is very, very little, and that usually means it's going to be pretty good. Samurai Outlaw, Swordcraft Officer Bronze, 2/2/1, Fanfare in hand 7, gain +2/+2, and evolve this follower clash, gain +1/+1. Reminds me a lot of Servant of Usurpation, of course, which is rotating out. I don't know if this one's going to see play. It doesn't really support loot, so it doesn't support an archetype like Servant of Usurpation supported loot, is what I mean to say. Not a bad card, but not a great one either. Does just die to trading any 2-drop. Was great against fairies, I suppose. The enhanced 7 doesn't really feel too relevant. I feel like this is probably not going to be played very much. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Fox Lancer, 3/2/3. Fanfare of an allied natural and great trees in play. Recover 1 play point. When this follower's attack or defense is increased by a spell or effect, gain storm. Incredible card. Absolutely incredible card. Amazing support for Natura Swordcraft. Because once you get your Balian up, it's insane. This is just a non-conditional play point recovery to instantly get King's Might. Then you King's Might it becomes a 4/4 with Storm. What? Insane card. I think this is hopefully gonna make Natura playable in the next expansion. Alright, cool. Next up, we have the Union Burst for Swordcraft, Shizuru, Sisterly Sabreur, 4/3/5, Ward, Fanfare, Union Burst 10, deal 3 damage to the enemy leader, gain the ability to evolve for 0 evolution points. Again, more evolve stuff. Ward at the end of the turn, if you have more evolution points than your opponent, restore 3 defense to your leader and this follower. Ooh. It's quite a good card. 4/3/5 Ward, not bad already. And you can just evolve this manually as well to get this effect where, well, hopefully you'd have more evolve points. Really good if you're going second, obviously, because you have your evolve points before your opponent unlocks any evolve points, so you instantly get the effect, right? So you can get like a 5/7 that trades, heals up, heals you. Extremely good defensive card. Of course, the Union Burst really helps to get additional burst damage in the late game, as well as just a little bit of reach. You don't have to kill them that turn, because it does the damage, and then it also defensively heals you up and puts a ward in the way. So, yeah, solid card for sure. Solid card, especially going second. Jadelong Tactician, Dragoncraft 6/3/5, Storm, Leader Strike, deal 3 damage to a random enemy follower. I'm a big fan of this card. Reminds me a lot of it's just kind of like a cheaper and also worse Fangblade Slayer, which is one of my favorite cards in the game, of course. Storm, Leader Strike, deal 3 damage to a random enemy follower. I'm always a fan of cards that go face and deal with the board at the same time, because obviously that's just good business. You know, 2 for 1. Fangblade is better because it has Bane, and you can choose which board threat you're dealing with, as well as dealing damage to the face. This one you have to deal damage to the face, and then it's random which enemy follower it deals with. But of course, Dragoncraft has the advantage of being able to ramp into this, and Dragoncraft also has a lot of great tempo tools this expansion, which is just what I think its theme is. A lot of people are wondering what Dragoncraft's theme is. A lot of it seems kind of out of the place. It just feels like a lot of tempo Dragoncraft stuff, you know, seeing what's his name, Garyu, Jadelong Tactician now, the 2-drop that pings 2 things. It's a lot of just stuff that has an immediate presence on board and goes face, so really, I think it's trying to work back into the whole storm ramp kind of thing, which might be cool. And honestly, I'm really glad of, because I'm really, really tired of Natural Dragoncraft, playing it and fighting against it on ladder. So I'm excited to see this new archetype of Dragoncraft come in and hopefully be a contender. We'll see. I'll definitely try it out. But if it will be, I have pretty high hopes for Jadelong Tactician, because again, goes face and deals with the board a little bit at least. Oh boy, the card everybody's talking about, Golden Eagle, 4/4/3 for Haven. Fanfare if an allied follower or doesn't play, gain Storm. Ward Havencraft is looking so good. I don't know why Havencraft keeps getting viable tier 1, tier 2 archetypes. But here we are, an on-curve Storm. That's a less conditional Dark General for Havencraft, which, man, this card is amazing, of course. There's tons of ways to get Holy Cavaliers or just any wards on the board by turn 4, and probably sticking as well, especially if you play Hallowed Cave Shrine. It's basically a guarantee. And then Golden Eagle just goes face. Then, of course, Hallowed Cave Shrine is just good because you want to be running Holy Cavaliers in your deck anyway for the Holy Cavalier synergy that you have with the new cards. And then Wilbur comes in, and then more damage is dealt to you from you just hitting their wards, and they play more Golden Eagles, and they just go your face. It's just an unpleasant time if you're not Havencraft. Card is amazing. Calm Featherfolk, 5/3/5, crystallize 1, countdown 4, summon this thing. When this follower comes into play, restore 3 defense to your leader. I'm not really super impressed by this thing. A bit too heavy for what it does. Not super impressive, I think. The countdown might be nice for, what's her name? Saren, the orphanage matron, or whatever her name is, to evolve and take down this countdown. Then you have a 3/5 body that instantly heals you. That's potentially a good application if you're playing like an amulet-based Havencraft. I just don't know if that's ever going to be a thing, given the how good Ward looks, how good... basically all of Havencraft's archetypes still look. I'm kind of not too sold about Calm Featherfolk having a place. Yeah, as a follower, not super impressive. As a crystallize, has some potential with Saren, and just the fact that it's a crystallized 1 so you can squeeze it into your curve. But the countdown's quite high as well. So not super impressive card. Karula, Arts Master, 3/3/3. Fanfare enhanced 7, gain +2/+2, and the ability to evolve for 0 evolution points, so it becomes a 7/7. If you evolve it at the end of your turn, if you have at least 1 play point, gain +1/+1. Then if you have at least 3 play points, destroy a random enemy follower. Very nice. Very, very nice. But you have to float 4 play points to get that effect off, right? Because it's then if you have at least 3 play points. But yeah, as a card, it's really great. On curve, 3/3/3 is fine already. Evolve, you recover 2 play points, which is an insane evolve effect, okay? Which helps you get this effect where you destroy an enemy follower. Float play point Portal Craft is looking to be an actual thing with Karula Arts Master, but I don't know if he's going to be the... I don't know if he's enough to carry the entire thing by himself, but he is definitely very, very strong with this effect, regardless of anything else. Like, you cannot play cards and still deal with your opponent's board and gain stats, so you keep card advantage as well, or if you're recovering your play points, you just have additional benefits as well. Yeah, Karula Arts Master looks pretty good. Already a solid 3-drop, insane evolve effect, insane effect here, and flexibility of the enhanced strong card. Begoggled Mole! Oh, it's adorable. 2/2/2. Fanfare of Resonance is active for you, or if an allied natural and great trees in play, gain ambush until the end of your opponent's turn. Not super high value card. Don't think it's going to be that good. It's just a 2/2/2 ambush. I don't think that's going to be a game changer in any way. Yeah, I mean, the condition is pretty easy to get, but like, how relevant is it, right? And why would you run this over any other card that you could be running in Portalcraft? I don't think you would. I don't think you would. Yeah, I don't think Portalcraft wants or needs a 2/2 only ambush that's conditional, right? Sure-sighted Lancer, 1/1/1. Fanfare, destroy an enemy follower whose attack or defense has been raised. It seems like the only easy way to raise the stats of an enemy follower is like Colosseum on high in Portalcraft, and I don't think that's gonna be very good. But this could also just be a good tech card for decks that just buff their stuff. Say Natura Swordcraft, of course. Then we also have Lana Havencraft. Just a really great tech card for those kinds of things if you're facing that thing on the ladder. I wouldn't build my deck around it by including Colosseum on high or anything. That just seems like a not good idea. But yeah, 4 decks that do buff their followers just in their game plan. This could be a really, really strong removal. I kind of wish it was neutral for that reason. But it is for Portalcraft, so there you go. Portalcraft has some tools to be able to slot in and tech in if they're facing a lot of that kind of thing. Phantom Blade Wielder, 2/2/2. At the end of your turn, if you have at least 1 play point, put a puppet into your hand. Then if you have at least 3 play points, give it +4/+0. Evolve, recover 1 play point. I'm not super impressed by this one, to be honest with you. The payoff of getting a puppet into your hand at the end of your turn is kind of underwhelming. Can't spend it on the turn that you might need it. And then, of course, if you float 4 play points, what you get is a 5/1 puppet. Great, I guess, but you're floating 4 play points. You're playing a 2-drop and floating 4 play points, and that's your turn. I don't know, man. This doesn't seem worth it. Moving along, we have Rino, Cleansweep Archer, 2/2/2, Fanfare Union Burst 10, deal 2 or 4 damage to all enemy followers. Speaking of RNG, hello. Evolve, gain +2 attack until the end of the turn, then add 2 to the number of cards played this turn. This Evolve might be really good to get early Irenes, early Miracle of Loves, etc., etc. So I think the Evolve effect is really cool, especially the fact that you get +2 attack as well, meaning you can trade up into a 6-drop, or rather a 6 defense follower is what I mean to say, which is nice. This Union Burst 10, though, I don't know how I feel about this, man. It's a little random. I don't like it. It seems, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. It feels like it's going to screw me over. It really does. I don't like it at all. But the Evolve effect is super cool. I mean, the Union Burst effect is good, obviously, but I don't know why this had to be random. I guess for the flavor. I don't know. Not a fan, though. Inori, Timid Dragonmaiden, 2/2/2 ambush. Unconditional ambush, 2/2/2. Take that, Begoggled Mole. Fanfare Union Burst 10. Give all enemy followers the following effect. At the start of your turn, deal 1 damage to your leader and 2 damage to this follower. Great card for this aggressive Dragoncraft deck that's theoretically building itself on my head. First of all, it's just an on-curve ambush. You hit them in the face. Hooray. And then also, this Union Burst 10 thing just can really be annoying dealing with their board and dealing damage to, like, the more they spread out their board too, the more damage is being dealt. It's like a jank mutagenic bolt, which is kind of neat. I like this card a lot, man. I like it a lot. Just a solid 2-drop for an aggro deck that wants to go face, and then this Union Burst effect has that really interesting application, man. Really good against those wide decks. Make them hit themselves. We'll see how that goes. Although Union Burst 10, if you're getting to... I know you're going to reduce it with Evolves, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Still seems like if you're at turn 7, and you're... could be your finisher, I guess. On turn 7, you play the Inori, and that's that. We'll see. I like the effect a lot, though. I think it's a pretty cool card. And finally, I think these are the last two. Kokkoro, Faithful Guide, 2/1/2. Fanfare, draw a card. If at least 2 other cards were played this turn, draw 2 cards instead. Union Burst 10, give +1/+1 to all allied followers. Restore 3 defense to your leader. Absolutely busted card. Super amazing. What the heck? 2/1/2 draw. Alright. Alright. 2 other cards. Draw 2 cards for 2 play points. Hello. Union Burst 10. Buff your whole board. Restore your defense. Then, of course, you're also still doing the whole draw cards thing. Yeah, insane card. Insane card. Probably staple. For sure. Moving on, Phoenix Empress, 5/5/4 for Dragoncraft. Gold follower, rush, fanfare, give another allied follower ambush. It's okay. It's only okay. What I really like about this card in particular, of course, it's solid in that it's a card that immediately has board presence, can rush in, and it hides a follower from your previous turn that can attack face again next turn. So if you're really hell-bent on going face, pretty good card for that. You get to deal with the board a little bit and save a follower to hit face again next turn. But what I'm really excited for Phoenix Empress is that now Dragoncraft has an enabler for Flame and Glass, which is the first thing I'm going to do. Well, we'll see. One of the first things I'm going to do anyway. There's a lot of things I want to do come the new expansion, so we'll see what I'm in the mood for. But yeah, Flame and Glass Dragon using Phoenix Empress to ambush my Flame and Glass is definitely on the menu. But like I said, other than meme potential, pretty okay card. And I think that is it for all of the Ultimate Colosseum reveals. Let me know your thoughts on the cards in the comments down below. Am I right? Am I wrong? What do you think? Like the video if you did. Don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Shadowverse content in the very near future. Ultimate Colosseum pre-release happening very soon, so look forward to those pack openings. Of course, thank you to my wonderful patrons, patreon.com/Ignideus. If you'd like to support the channel as well, I'd highly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.